Hi,
How are you?
good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm excited.
Me too. You look great.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I'm super excited. I don't know if my tech, did you get reminders yesterday and today?
I got one yesterday. I didn't get any today. And I had to use the Zoom link in the reminder. Like so it's on my phone. I didn't get a link via email. So it's not on my computer.
Okay.
But I don't know if that was, if you wanted to send it out,
I
uh,
work
email.
it out with my VA because I think some tech problems. I had quite a few people sign up for it, but the tech issues might be the reminders not going out could be my problem. Not a problem. I have you. How are you, Natasha? I'm so excited that you're here. Are you able to come off mute or are you just here listening?
Sorry, I thought I was off mute.
Oh,
Hey,
how are you?
good.
Awesome. Thanks for coming.
Yep,
Have you been?
good.
Good?
Yes.
Awesome. Well, I'm just going to give it a couple more minutes. Do both, I'm assuming both of you have pendulums.
Yep.
Okay. So being that some of the people that enrolled in, I'm because I'll send out a replay of it. Some of the people that are not here, I don't know if they have pendulums, so I may be covering a couple things that you guys will be like, I already have a pendulum. And Jennifer, I picked yours out for you energetically. So is
Mhm.
it going well for you?
Yeah, it's like super wild. It's like wild. I used it like for like I play with it more than I use it because
Okay.
it's so crazy that like for me, I guess is a circle.
Mm-hmm.
That's opposite than you, right?
Mine is opposite. I've had a bunch of people tell me yours is weird, and I'm like, it's okay. It's the way mine works. So I tell everyone to calibrate, make sure you know what's going on.
Yeah. So it's so I'd like to play with it because I'll send it something that I know is a yes, and then I'll send something right away that's a no, and it just like turns on a dime. It's the
Yeah,
weirdest thing.
yeah, yeah.
But and so I'm to learn how to use it for, other things than just that, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there is going to be some of the stuff that we covered today that I think both of you have already know. But I want to make sure that the folks on the recording get everything that they need from the workshop. So thank you for coming and being here. I'm super excited. This is a safe space to explore, test, and to learn to trust ourselves. So kind of like what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. So if there's anything anybody wants to talk about here, it will stay here. And if you're watching the recording, what happens here, it stays here. So just keep it amongst us. And some of you, this might be super brand new and you've never done anything before. And when you first try and get started, you might not get clear answers. You might not get, Jennifer's really lucky sharing that hers is like flying all over the place. Some of it's that she's trusting the process, and some of it's that the pendulum was specifically picked for her energy. So we'll talk about ways to pick your pendulum. But if you don't get clear answers, just be patient with yourself. It's okay. It comes with time. This is kind of like a muscle that we're going to build. So the funny thing is that I never saw myself as an intuitive person. And I think Natasha even has probably heard me say things like that over the years because I've been working with Natasha over the years to grow my spirituality. We've been studying together and doing stuff together. But when I look back on my life, intuition has been a much bigger part than I ever gave credit for. So kind of like a funny story. My husband and I are in the laundromat business, and I got the idea. So part of intuition is allowing belief, like new ideas to come and fester and join you versus being closed off to any new ideas. So being open to new ideas is really helpful so that your intuition can come in and play. If you're closed off to new ideas, then our intuition doesn't always help. So when my husband and I, 25 years ago now, probably, I played a game called Cash Flow. And that's where I learned about laundromats. And I'm like, wow, I would love to be in the laundromat business at some point in time. And the idea was planted when I was still married to my closed-minded ex-husband. I was never going to buy a laundromat with my ex-husband. And then like years later, I end up getting divorced. I get remarried. My husband is looking for something new to do. And I'm like, laundromats. And I didn't do a lot, and I'm a due diligence person. Most people that know me, like when I step into real estate and I'm doing other stuff that I do a lot of digging. But when it came to laundromats, it just felt right. Like there was something that was like, we want to buy the laundromat. So my husband was looking for something to do. He actually wasn't working at the time, and he goes to a workshop. I sent him to a workshop. I go to this workshop. I have to go to Little League. We'll talk to you later. And my phone just starts blowing up. Like, how can we do this? I want to do this. So the next day, while he was there, and I'm at Little League, we're making an appointment to meet with the brokers the next day, and we signed a contract with the brokers Monday. He had this webinar thing that he went to, or was in person on Sunday, and it just felt right. It's like it felt it in our bones. Like, this is a safe business. We've got brokers that know laundromats. Let's just do it. And we figured it out. And we've been in the laundry business space for like, I don't know, 12 years now. And we love it. And it's it was really intuition driven with a idea that was planted many, many, many years ago. So being open to new ideas and being receptive to those things definitely helps. But I didn't think about it at the time that it was my intuition that was running that whole thing. It was not over analytical Liz. It wasn't spreadsheets. It wasn't risk analysis. It was, you know what, this feels right. Let's do it. And it seemed like a low risk thing to do. So it's just funny when I look back, because I've made a lot of decisions, including marrying my husband. I told him on our second date that we were going to get married, and the words just fell out of my mouth. Like, that was my intuition talking, but I wasn't tapped in and dialed into the concept of intuition back then. So there's probably a lot of things that you guys have experienced in your life that you did kind of based on a gut decision, or something just felt right. And it is intuition if you take a moment to give the intuition credit for those decisions that you've made. You also might have had I should have done this. Like, you had this draw to do something and you didn't do it when you weren't listening to your intuition. So really just starting to listen to yourself and listening to some of those cues, and giving yourself credit for things in the past. So taking a few minutes to think about, what things have I done in the past that just flat out, I didn't have all the data and I did it anyways and it worked out perfectly. Like, give yourself some credit for those things, because that builds your trust with the intuition. Okay, so a lot of mine has been reflective, like, oh, that was intuition. So now I joke, okay, I have 2 pendulums at my desk. I brought my husband's because I have a funny story about it later. We'll talk about it when we pick pendulums. I use my pendulum a lot, and it's just to like verify that my gut instinct, yeah, this is kind of what I'm thinking. So I'm gonna just double check with the pendulum. Yeah, this is something I should be doing. This is something I should be considering. So I use it for lots of different things all the time, and we're going to talk about the different ways that you can use your pendulum for really asking a bunch of different kinds of questions. I don't want to say any question, because there's some questions you should not be asking your pendulum. And then I just want to, so it's interesting. I was just with all the pendulum talk that I've been doing on Facebook. I've actually never heard anybody tell me that their intuition like screams at them. And Francesca, a friend of mine, was like, oh my gosh, my intuition is screaming at me all the time. That's not super common. It can happen. The more you develop the skill and listen to it, it might scream at you louder, but sometimes it's just a soft whisper. And so you want to, again, it's about slowing down, listening to yourself, paying attention to when little things happen. Like, maybe it's my intuition is telling me to do something. For me, I get gut hits. Like, it hits me like right in my belly, like right behind my belly button. I can feel it when I have a gut hit, and it's a strong, sometimes it's a little bit stronger. The feeling is bigger when it's a stronger gut hit. But just start paying attention, because your intuition it's your higher self, and your higher self is trying to communicate with you. I had a coach years and years and years ago that said her higher self was mad at her because she spent so many years like pushing it aside and not listening to it. And it's more of like a joke, but your higher self is there to guide you, and it has more information than what we have in our conscious world. And society doesn't really help us to tap into it. We're sort of taught to squelch it and put it aside. And so it can take some time to develop the relationship with your higher self to have a stronger gut hit on those intuition moments. So just know it may not scream at you like my friend Francesca, and it might be in soft whispers that you're just, kind of sensing something. And it might be like, for me, it's a gut hit. So pay attention to what the signals are for you, because it's different for everybody. Does anybody in the group already tap into intuition a little bit and want to share what their experience is with it? That's okay. The next thing that's okay.
Yeah, no, I get it. Is kind of it's just a feeling that goes through me. So like it's very clear for me as well.
Okay, cool. Robert, you came off camera. Welcome. Have you done any intuition work where you sort of sense things or feel things?
Yeah, breath work, like breathing in through the mouth, out through the nose, like breath of spirit, just to get to the knowing and out of the sea of thoughts. And usually it just keeps us knocking until I continue to do it. Like I'll be there for years. It's like still like
Knocking.
that. Yeah, it's still, this is your path. Let's go, go, go.
Okay, so you have a little bit of a sense too. Natasha, what about you?
Yeah, same thing. I feel it. I know it. Tap
Okay.
it.
So one of the things that I'm going to walk you guys through a little grounding activity, because sometimes in our busy world where there's just so much information and so much swirl and so much going on, and our attention is pulled in a bazillion different directions, it can be really hard to hear yourself. It's hard to hear the intuition because there's so much stuff that's speaking and taking up it's noise and taking up our energetic space. And so when we go through the process of just grounding ourselves to the earth, it allows us to be more grounded and focused and setting an intention so that it's like you're telling the conscious and the unconscious mind, this is what we're doing right now. We're energetically grounding, and now you can get clearer messages. And the better, again, as you get better at this and you develop a stronger sense of my intuition is speaking, you may not need to do this, but knowing that some of you guys and the listeners that are going to watch the replay, I want everyone to have a very quick practice to ground themselves and get focused, so that when they want to tap in and they're going to work on with their pendulum or do muscle testing or finger locking, asking questions, when you're grounded and you're connected to spirit and earth, you're going to get clearer answers. So I'm going to just take a few minutes to walk everybody through this grounding exercise. So if everybody doesn't mind just closing their eyes for a minute and taking a few deep breaths in and out. And just feel the chair supporting you. And feel the breath as you're bringing it in, just feeling it through your body. And I want you to imagine a set of Aka chords. Hang on one second. We have somebody who's just entering right now. I'm going to bring her on board since we just started. Jennifer, we're starting off with a grounding meditation. It's a quick 5-minute meditation to help ground, to help people tap into their intuition, to provide us a tool that will help us. So go ahead and close your eyes and take a few breaths in and out, and allow yourself to feel the chair or couch supporting your body, and feel the breath coming in and out of your body. And I want you to imagine 2 Aka chords, 2 energy chords, leaving the base of your spine and going down to the earth and coming into the earth like the roots of a tree. So it's breaking up the earth, and it's breaking up the beautiful, stable Mother Earth energy. And as it breaks up the earth, as it roots in, that beautiful, stable energy travels up the Aka cord and it fills your seat. And it moves down your legs. And you can feel this grounding, supporting, stable energy filling your body. And it's going down past your knees, to your calves, to your feet and your toes. And just feel that groundedness, that stable groundedness between you and Mother Earth through these Aka chords. And now I want to invite you to look above your head, where you're above your crown chakra, and invite your higher self, your intuition in. So imagine a beautiful, glowing peaceful light. It might be sparkling, whatever color is for you. Just tap into whatever that is, white, cream, golden, and allow that beautiful golden light to come in and, to fill your head. And you can feel it behind your, like your face and your eyes. And you feel this beautiful, loving, peaceful, healing energy fill the front of your head, behind your face, and the back of your head. And it travels down and it fills your neck. And then it continues down your shoulders and into your arms, going to your elbows, past your elbows, towards your wrists, and into your hands and your fingertips. And you just feel this peaceful, beautiful, loving, healing energy. And it travels down your chest to your midsection. And it meets up to the seat of where the stable Mother Earth energy is. And I want you to allow these two energies to mix and swirl throughout your entire body. So just feel these energies so that it's bringing grounded, clear, focused, calm, loving, present, flexible energy throughout your body. And it's bringing that inner knowing to every cell in your body. And it's bringing the stability of Mother Earth to every cell in your body. And our entire body is just filled with this beautiful energy, with a beautiful balance, the yin and the yang, between the grounded, clear Mother Earth energy and the focused, calm, beautiful presence of loving and inner knowing throughout your whole body. And now take a moment and focus on your heart center. And right before you're going to work to tap into your inner knowing, you would set an intention, that the intention of this course would be to allow yourself to bring in all of this information and have new awareness. And when you're going to do it before you sit down to do some of your own energy work where you're tapping in, that the intention is to be able to tap into my higher self and hear and listen and feel. And then when you're ready, go ahead and open your eyes. How do you guys all feel? Nice and grounded?
Mhm.
That's a technique, just FYI, I use with my clients to teach them to ground before important meetings, before important conversations. It's a phenomenal technique to help just ground yourself, get alignment between your conscious and unconscious mind, and set intentions. So I do have a recording of this. If you were interested, I will be happy to get that to you. Just message me. But it's really great to ground yourself before you're doing any kind of energy work. And that's what this basically is. So what is intuition? Intuition is just that inner knowing, that gut feeling, and it goes beyond logic. Okay. I did not believe in love at first sight until I met my husband. And I could not logically say how or why those words fell out of my mouth that I was going to marry him on our second date. It was pretty embarrassing. But it was a freaking inner knowing. The day I met him, it was an inner knowing. I just knew that I was going to be with him the rest of my life. So we talked about, it can be gut feelings, sensations. It can be even a shift in emotions, and it could just be spontaneous, like this awareness or clarity, like all of a sudden you know the answer. So it feels very magical, but it's not magic. It's just your intuition speaking to you. So why do we not listen to our intuition? Well, we are conditioned to analyze the heck out of everything. We're taught in school to analyze, come up with the right answer. The way they teach math and science, it's all very, very analytical. And so we live in an analytical society. And our analytical society teaches us to prioritize logic and not prioritize the messages we're getting from our bodies. I also feel that our society squelches this kind of thing. Even like when we have young children and maybe mom or dad is sad about something and we're crying and our kids come up to us, their intuition is like, Mommy, are you okay? And we're conditioned to be strong. And instead of telling our kids, well, I'm really sad because this happened, we tell our kids, no, mommy's fine, mommy's fine. And those kinds of things squelch intuition because you just told your child that your intuition was off. I'm fine, even though I'm not fine. But we're verbally telling our children not follow their intuition. And don't feel bad if this is something you've done. I know I've done it to my children. My younger children are a little luckier than my 20-year-old because I'm more tapped into this. But it's just a very normal thing for our society to show strength and to not want to show weakness. So, and then when we can't explain something and it's like a weird feeling, we're just very dismissive of that. So that's why we don't tap into this very often. So I have kind of a funny story. When I first started, this was a few years ago, it was after COVID, that that and it was when I was trying to pay attention to my intuition more. So it's just a really funny story. And the reason I'm sharing it with you is I want you to start paying attention. And sometimes afterwards, you're going to be like, damn it, I missed it. And it's okay. The fact that you recognize it down the road is, again, telling your higher self, I realize I didn't listen to you. I'll be better next time. I'm going to try better, but I see it now, because sometimes you're not going to see it in the moment. So we were getting off of a cruise ship and we were going to Legoland. And so we're like basically like leaving the car, and we just wanted to have like a small bag to go into the water park. So when I was on the ship, I packed like a day bag for us to all have our bathing suits. So all the kids' bathing suits in, my bathing suits are in, our sunscreen. Like we had our little bag to go into the Legoland water park. So we're in the back of the car. I'm grabbing my bag, and I don't remember why I started digging through my suitcase. I'm like, why am I digging through my suitcase? And I'm like, no, I think I have everything. And I had 2 bathing suits with me, and I touched the second bathing suit, and I was like, I already packed a bathing suit. Why? I don't need this. Like my logical conscious mind brain said, you don't need this bathing suit. You already packed one. So I put it back. I closed the suitcase. I grabbed the day bag. We went all the way to the front of the park, all the way into the back of the park. So it was like a half an hour to get to the water park where we were going. And I get the kids all ready. Here, we're sprayed up, all of their swimsuits on, and my husband takes them out while I go to get myself ready. And lo and behold, the bottoms to my bathing suit were fucking missing. I'm like, oh my God, my higher self. I had the bathing suit in my hand, and I dismissed it and put it aside. And here I am. So I was like, I'm not walking an hour, half an hour back to the car. So I went and bought a $60 bathing suit that I hate. But bathing suit that day. And it's such a funny story, because I had this intuitive nudge to go into my suitcase. I had the second bathing suit in my hand, and I ignored it. And it's like the best story ever, because I'll never forget that. So sometimes you have an inner gut to grab an umbrella on a day that you're not necessarily expecting rain, or to be outside, or you get a gut instinct, well, I'm going to wear these shoes instead of those shoes, and you end up having a longer walk to something that happens during the day that takes you on a longer walk. Like your higher self already has a picture of things that are going to happen, or things that have happened that need to be fixed. So just listen to yourself. And if you have a moment where it's like, oh man, I didn't do what I should have done, you just tell yourself with grace, I'm gonna do different next time. And it's that reminder that I gotta listen. It was there, and I just ignored it, because our conscious mind loves to be in charge, even though it's not in charge of hardly anything at all. So does anybody have a story they want to share about how intuition, they listened to it and it was like, oh my God, this was amazing. And maybe you didn't realize at the time it was intuition. Anybody have a story? Natasha, do you have one?
I have tons of stories.
I'll pick one. Share one with us.
My most recent story is it's about my dad. It's his anniversary. He passed in 2019, and there's this letter that I didn't read from him, from a long time ago. I was just making a post about it, and something just told me like where it was. I've been looking for it. I'm like, I don't know where I put it, but I'll find it, because I moved my office. And so the night before last, it just came to me. It's in this journal that I have, this book. So I walked right over to the book, opened it up, and there it was. Wow. Okay.
Some intuition. Yep. I've actually walked up, because I have a tendency to not put things back where they belong. And so I'll go into a room and I'll be like, is my whatever I'm looking for in this room? And I get a yes or a no. And so I know where to look. So it's kind of, again, a funny little thing. So one of the things that I definitely want to share, does anybody else have a story before we move on? If not, it's okay. Just it's when we hear stories from other people, it helps to raise our trust in the process.
I feel like I've had a lot of moments. Honestly, I can't think of one off the top of my head, but I I have been more keen to listen to an inner voice. So I have a lot of moments where I literally just feel like this voice is in the back of my head telling me stuff, like helping me navigate through my day. And it's interesting because now I am paying way more attention to it and I'm much more mindful of that voice. Um, it's it's been a really enlightening experience and journey to say the least. But since I had my sons, my short, like, I guess it's a postpartum thing, like my short-term memory has been so terrible. Um, but recently, like, I've been listening to that inner voice a lot more. And so I have more clarity around like finding things or thoughts that previously would just get kind of lost in translation. Like, shoot, like it's been 30 seconds ago, I can't remember. It's like that intuition is stronger now, or at least I'm acknowledging it more and listening. And so it's helping to guide me.
Awesome. That's great. That's great. The beginning is awareness. So that's awesome, Jennifer. Anybody else? No big deal. We can move on if nobody else has something to share. So the one message that I also want to make sure that we cover today is the concept of being curious. So if we can be in a state of curiosity, then our higher self has more opportunities to share so that you can, and when you're in a curious mode, you're in a receiving mode. So you want to be able to receive messages when we're a society busy of I have to get this done, that done, da, 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 and you have like this whole to-do list. You are not in curiosity mode when we're in to-do list mode. But if you are in a state of curiosity, it puts you in a natural state of receiving message to receive, and that's when the messages can come. So trying to stay curious, even though we're busy being doers, because that's a big part of our society. We've got to do all of our jobs and do all of the stuff to take care of our families, and we have a lot of stuff to do. If you can just try and tap into being curious, that will help you to open that awareness so that their messages can come in. So instead of just walking in and like, I'm making dinner, be like, oh, what should I make for dinner? And ask some questions. I think a fun little activity is to like, is anybody else indecisive in a restaurant as to what they want to order? Open up the menu. This isn't a menu, but like pretend that this is a menu, and you open up the menu and you can just pull out your pendulum and ask yourself what you should eat and what you should pick. So I'm the queen of what is everybody else ordering at the table? Because if you order something that's on my list and I don't order it, I'm going to want what you eat. I can use my pendulum to tap in. So these are ways to practice on little things so that you build the trust. So take your pendulum. I have a pendulum that's to go now. I have multiple pendulums. I've got one in my travel bag, one in my purse, and two on my desk. So I don't know why I have so many on my desk, but I do. So I want to take a minute and go over some different ways besides just the pendulum. The pendulum happens to be my favorite, but for years and years and years and years, I used the muscle testing body sway test. Way before I really was tapped into intuition. I've been doing this for probably 8 years. I think when my son was born, I used it a lot to pick which essential oil I should be using to diffuse for sleep or whatever. And that's how we started it. And it then became more with other things too. So I started with that a long time ago. But a really quick one is the finger lock test. I personally don't love this one. I struggle to get the right tension on it, so I don't use it very often. But I want you guys to be aware of it so that you take your middle finger and your thumbs and you interlock them, and you can ask yes or no questions. And if it holds firm, then the answer is yes. And if your fingers release, like one of them releases from the other, then the answer is no. So you can practice that one. I've never gotten it to work as well as the other two, so I just haven't practiced it enough. But it is something that you may see people that are doing this, and that's exactly what they're doing. They're testing, they're asking quick questions. The beautiful thing about this one is I don't have to stand in Sprouts health food section with a pendulum in my hand. If you're able to, I use the sway test usually when I'm in like total public. But this one's an easy one that you can do almost anywhere. So you can just, ask a quick yes, no question. My name is Liz. See, it didn't, yeah, so my name is Liz, but look, my name is Natasha and it's not coming apart. So this has just not been, I haven't practiced this one enough. So been doing my pendulums and all these other stuff for many, many years, but this is one, but I just want you to know about it because it might be your perfect tool. And because it's not my perfect tool, I want you to be aware of it. So if you want really quickly, like ask a question that you know the answer to and see if you can get it to hold firm with a question like, I love chocolate. The answer, make sure that it's something you really love to ask that question. Or I have 3 dogs. Now see, but I have 3 cats. I don't have 3 cats, but it's still giving me a yes. So it's just something to practice so that you can get used to it. And then we're going to go over the muscle testing, the body sway, like just from your body. And then we'll go over the micro movements with the pendulum. So I'm going to stand up and show you the body sway. So in a second, I'll have you guys stand up too. And I'm going to stand sideways. And you should be able to see, even though there's a little bit of a blur on my camera. So the muscle, the body, I have a very small space where my desk is and my chair. Okay, so I am standing with my legs, my feet, arms with like shoulder width apart. And if I ask a question, my name is Liz. I went forward. You always want to start with, show me a yes. Okay, there's the yes. Show me a no, there's a no. And I almost fell over backwards. You're almost feeling like your feet are rocking. So I can stand here and say, my name is Liz, and I get a yes. My name is Steve, I get a no. I have 2 dogs. Nope, I have 3 dogs. Yes. And you can just ask these yes or no questions. And you want to first start with asking questions that you know the answer to that are solid. And that's the first bit. You want to calibrate, what does it look like? Now, I generally don't calibrate very often unless I feel like, well, that was weird. Like, because now my intuition's like, that doesn't match. My intuition's saying this is yes. I went to double check it with my pendulum or a body sway and I got the wrong answer. So sometimes I'll say, okay, show me a yes. And maybe I'm opposite because your energy can shift. So most people, forward is a yes and backwards is a no. But you can be having an off day. You can be stressed. You can not be grounded. There can be a lot of different reasons that things flop. So it's good to always double check if you feel like you're getting weird answers. So I want all of you guys to stand up. You're welcome to turn your cameras off if you want to, just whatever you're comfortable with. But I want to teach you how to use the body sway method. And you can ask the questions out loud, or your intuition doesn't need voice. And you can ask them, just in your head. And just feel the difference in that. Did you feel it, Jennifer? Did you feel the
Yes, I feel it.
I absolutely felt it because my name clearly was not Antoine.
Okay, so that's how you calibrate, and then you can jump into asking questions. Should I be exploring a new market if you're in real estate? Should I be, of course, I ask my pendulum question all the time, and here I'm blanking. For me, I do energy work with Huna. Should I use a certain type of energy for a certain type of thing? I let my intuition help me make those decisions. Again, I have essential oils And I use them when my kids aren't sleeping well or they were on a certain set of things. I'll pick up a bunch of new ones and I muscle test whether or not this is a good one for them or not. I have to tap into their energy for that. So that's where you're just kind of like, you know, but you can do it for yourself. Is this a good one for sleep? And I'm glad I'm having this conversation because I don't feel like I slept good this week and I need to probably change my essential oils because you got to change them up every so often. So you can stand in, you know, you go to Sprouts and you're buying a supplement. You can hold on to it and just close your eyes for a second and feel your body sway as long as you don't care. But you're in Sprouts. Nobody cares in Sprouts if you're doing funky things. You're not in Target or Walmart. I wrote it. Sprouts is like, oh, they're muscle testing. And then you can figure out which supplement would be better for you because energetically your body just knows. So that is the muscle sway test. The other thing that you can do with the muscle test is, and the pendulum too, you can look at what of like the intensity of something. Like I should do this or I should do that. So I'm just going to do it with the essential oils because it's super easy. So I have 2 essential oils. And so let's say you're at Sprouts and it's 2 different of the same or 2 different magnesiums and you don't know which one to buy. So you'll ask first, is this good for me? Okay. So I just got a yes. I'm not doing this 100% just because I want to make sure that the example makes sense. This is a yes. Okay. And I'm going to pick this one up and I'm going to say, is this one going to be good for whatever it is I'm trying to deal with? And I get a yes. Now I did feel a difference. The first one was stronger, but then I can say, is this yes, a 1, a 2, a 3, 1 being the lowest, 10 being the highest, and you can count up 1, 2, this is a 3, and you feel like you go forward more on the 3. And then if I pick this one up and say, is this one the one I should be using as a 1, as a 2, as a 3, as a 4, as a 5? Well, this one's better. So if I'm debating between these 2, I got a stronger yes based on the intensity of it with this one versus this one. So I would buy this one at the store. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So you can do it for supplements. You can do it for what I should be working on right now. Maybe you have 5 projects. You're not sure. Maybe it's like, who do I want to call? Like maybe you're upset about something and who is it that I should call? Like who's the person that would really be my support person for this? And you have 2 or 3 people that you want to call and you're not sure which one. You could muscle test to see who it is that you should be calling. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Any questions? Does anybody want to practice the 1, 2, 3, and 4? Like I want to go on vacation to Bali or I want to go on vacation to Australia and see which one is stronger. So you can decide which vacation you want to go on. So, but that's just how it works. And if you guys want a minute to practice it, we can take a second. If not, we can move on. Okay, so then let's move on to the pendulum. So what is a pendulum? Does everybody own a pendulum? Am I talking to a group that has? Okay, so the beautiful thing about a pendulum is you don't have to have one from a store. Okay, they can be made of different materials. It's just a weighted object. So you can take dental floss and your wedding ring if you're on vacation and you forgot your pendulum. If you have the dental floss and you have your ring, you just string it on and you hold it so that it has some length to it. And I have found that it works better for me if I'm using not a pendulum and I'm making one on the go. Like my wedding ring, I'm very connected to my wedding ring. I wear it a lot. I love my husband. All those things that this ring is very connected to me. I find I get better answers if I use my own ring versus somebody else's ring. And so you're going to see with a pendulum that you do get different responses based on the right pendulum. So we will talk about how to buy your pendulum if you do want to buy one, but you're also welcome to just go grab a piece of string or a dental floss and a ring or whatever. It doesn't have to be from a store. So it's just something that's weighted. And what it's doing is I'm not moving my hand, but it's responding to micro movement. So it's giving me a yes right now. And I can say, give me a yes. And you can see it swinging pretty good. And my yes is back and forth. Jennifer Lico shared that her yes is a circle. Okay. And when I get a maybe, it's like, it's really not moving hardly at all. And then I can say, show me a no. It's a little hard on cameras, but do you guys see the shift?
Mm-hmm.
Going in a circle. It's better if the camera was above, but I don't want to mess with the camera. So if you can trust me. And then you also can grab, Jennifer Griffin, do you have a pendulum? Do you own one? Robert and Jennifer, do you guys want to go grab a ring and a string really quickly and come back? Or you want to just, if you have dental floss or a piece of string,
I don't know
yeah.
if I have a ring.
Anything that you could string onto something. What other ideas? Like a binder clip. You could even take like a binder clip.
I have a broken necklace.
You have a broken necklace. You have like something like this, just anything that has like a hook on it, that just to create a weight. I also have this right here. Lots of things. Like I could theoretically take this ring off, right? If you have something, grab it. If not, no big deal. Also,
Okay.
does the broken necklace have like a pendant attached to it? Because that's already weighted as it is.
It's got a cross, but I don't know
Oh,
if it's like loose
perfect.
or anything.
Grab it. Grab it.
Don't wait for me because I don't know if exactly where it's at. It might be in my drawer.
Follow your intuition. So everyone can just kind of pick up their pendulum and, oh, you did find it. Your intuition took you right there, didn't it? So you can just hold it with you can let the cross dangle to where if there is a little bit of a knot in it, you just have to have a part of it straight and a part of it weighted. And then what's happening is it's responding to the micro movements in your body, like at the cellular level. It's from your nervous system, and it's where, it's what's happening. Perfect. So you can say, show me a yes. And it should give you some kind of sway. You want to play a little bit with the length and how you're holding it. Like if you want to look really quickly, like some people kind of hold it like that with their thumb. Some people, just want it shorter. Some people want it longer. Some people, even testing what two fingers you're holding it with can help. And you may want to shorten it a little bit if you don't, or you may want to lengthen it. Mine can't go any longer. And then you just ask, what does yes look like? And what does no look like? And give it a chance to respond. It could take a second. Jennifer Griffin, it looks like you're getting a nice response from yours. Is that a yes for you? And then go ahead, and then you can stop it with your hand and say, show me a no. So Robert, I would try holding it. Are you getting a response?
No, it actually, when I first did it, it was like this part was moving without the cross.
Okay. Hey, I give no no judgment, like if you're getting it a little bit different. And then and try holding it differently, and whether or not you have something hanging. And then I don't know how heavy is the cross relatively. Does it have some good weight to it? Because sometimes these work a little bit better when there's a slightly stronger
Okay.
weight.
A stronger weight, yeah. It's very light.
Yeah, that might be part of what's going on. Do you have a clasp that you could, if you put it the other direction so that it adds the weight to the clasp? Because this one's still working, but.
I don't know. I'm not familiar with the terminology. The clasp is where the hook is.
Okay. Do you have a binder clip or anything sitting right at your desk that you could add to it to make it a little heavier?
No, I don't have anything at my desk really.
Okay. Well, just go through the motions with us, and if you're not getting as strong of a response, just recognize that it may not be heavy enough. Okay. So all of the pendulums, like you can buy them in the store. This is a clear quartz one. And I have another one that's some kind of red. I think it's a jasper of some sort. And these ones both work really well for me. But it just takes a little bit of time to do the practicing, just like the sway test you did. You guys got pretty good answers on your sway test, it looked like. You'll just start to get answers through this too. And again, you can go back to the finger method as well, the finger locking method. But with the pendulum, you just want to practice how you're gonna, oh, another thing you can do to increase, you have energy that runs, your hands are like an exit and entry point for energy. So you can try putting your hand underneath it. So Robert, if you do that, just see if that helps improve it, because your energy is then traveling kind of from this hand up to the hand below through the pendulum. Did that help at all?
Yeah, it seemed to go more. I have the knot, using the knot as the weight.
Perfect. The other thing you can do too is test the other hand. So different hands, different fingers, and just test. This is something that's kind of homework to play with. But I do want to share a funny story with you. This pendulum was gifted to me by the beautiful Natasha, who happens to be on today's call. Yeah. And she gifted this to me. And I hope you're not offended, Natasha, but it just did not give me strong. It didn't give me a strong, I got movement from it. But my husband came in one day to my office and we were talking about something and I was checking the pendulum. He's like, let me check the pendulum. And he picks the pendulum up and it is like 10 times stronger than I said, I think that's your pendulum. So I gifted it to my husband because he got such great results out of it. And I have these other pendulums that I get really good, I just get better results out of. So some of it is like finding your pendulum. So when you go to a store and you want to buy a pendulum, take the time to pick it up and ask each one. My kids are super into pendulums now. We went to we were on vacation last summer and we went into a store and they had about 30 pendulums and we all picked up because they kept taking my pendulums. I'm like, okay, guys, I'm going to get you your own pendulum. Look, there's a store of pendulums. And so they're testing them. I'm having them hold them, ask yes, ask no. We went through all 30 of them. We all got our favorite ones. We come home and they still stole my pendulum. So I seem to keep my pendulums. My kids are super into them. But you just go and you test them and you hold on to them and you say, show me a yes, show me a no. You sometimes can say, show me a stronger yes, show me a stronger no, but you will see a difference in some pendulums are just kind of like, okay, yeah, whatever. Like I'm giving you an answer. That's how the obsidian, this one was for me. It was like, I got some motion on it, but nowhere near as strong as with my other pendulums. So, and when I'm thinking about questions, it starts to respond before I've even finished. And I never got that strong of a response from the obsidian. So you want to search and purchase the pendulum that works for you. And then like I gifted my clients pendulums and I tested them. I tapped into energy and I tested it, which one would be the best for each person. And that's the ones that I sent them. And I got very different answers. So it is kind of cool, kind of fun. So.
What kind of store?
Oftentimes it's the metaphysical stores. If you're going to like a crystal store, do you have anything near you that's like that?
I'd have to look it up.
Okay. Other kinds of stores, oddly enough, like we were in, like it was a souvenir shop at one of the places that we went to when we were on vacation that had them. So when you know what they are, you might start finding them popping out at you at different places. Do they sell them at Sprouts? I could see maybe Sprouts carrying some pendulums. You can buy them online. You just can't obviously shop for them because you can't test them out. But yeah, let me know if you're having a hard time finding anything near you and I will help you get a pendulum.
Yeah, we don't have Sprouts. I don't think maybe here. Maybe there's one.
We don't.
I live in Detroit. I live outside Detroit.
Okay.
Some of the smaller boutique like bookstores, we have one in town that has a lot of stuff like that. Like not the Barnes and Nobles type, but the smaller, ones may have something like that.
Yeah. Okay.
I'll be able to find it. Thank you.
Yeah, and let me know if you're having a. I have a client that lives in the UK, and she's like, I don't have any stores near me, and so when I sent them all out, she was like, oh my God, I'm so excited! I got my pendulum. So I can help you if you're having a hard time with it. So just let me know. But what you always, like I said, again, with when we talked about the sway method, calibrating that yes is forward and no is backwards, you want to do the same thing with this. You want to calibrate. When you're first getting started, I recommend always asking, show me a yes, and then show me a no. I don't know if you can see it changing. That way you're always calibrated in case something shifts on you or your energy is just different. But it also just reminds you that like I'm calibrating, and then go ahead and jump into your question asking. I think you may have noticed when I went to do the muscle sway, I jumped right into my questions because I've been using these tools long enough that I don't usually calibrate unless it's like, this is weird. Like this answer doesn't seem right. And then I'll double check. And then again, if you're getting weird answers, inconsistent answers, make sure you're grounded. Okay. And again, it's about staying curious and asking good questions. So I want to make sure that we talk about good questions. It is totally okay to ask, should I buy this supplement? Should I order this off the menu? Like those are no big deal questions. And you can even, like you have a big to-do list, hovering your pendulum or muscle testing to know what you should be working on. Because I don't know if I've been in states of overwhelm in the past, and there's just a lot going on. What should I do first? What's going to decrease my stress? What's going to decrease my stress most? What's the most important thing for me to take care of today? Your higher self might see a phone call that's coming in tomorrow, and it's preparing you to take care of this task instead of that task instead. So it's just being allowing in the curiosity. But I want to make sure that you always stay in a neutral position around your questioning. We don't want to ask questions. If I was pregnant, am I having a boy or a girl? Okay. I probably have an opinion on that, or an emotional tie to what the outcome is if there's a certain sex child that I really wanted. So you might not get a clear answer on that because there's an emotional connection to the outcome. Same thing with like, I had somebody actually who trained me in the advanced pendulum stuff that I do, who had somebody that asked their pendulum if they have cancer, and they got the answer yes. And so they went to the instructor, like all freaked out, like, I got yes to cancer. And they're like, well, we all have mutated cells in our body. Like your higher self might just be really literal. And it's like, we all have mutated cells. It doesn't mean you have cancer. But asking those kinds of questions it's not a good use of your pendulum. You want to use them to make decisions that are gut instinct type of things. Okay. So generally speaking, if you're emotionally invested in the outcome, it could affect the outcome of the pendulum. So the homework that I'm going to give you guys is doing some daily decision making. Should I work out right now? Should I take a walk, or should I go to the gym? Should I, eat chicken or steak tonight? If you don't have your meal planner, that's not going to be a good question for you. For me, I'm not a meal planner. So I go down and look in the fridge. I'm like, do I want salad or do I want pasta tonight? Because that's all stuff that I can just easily make. So asking yourself some questions, and then you can even take it to a level of with relationships. Would a conversation with a certain person be supportive for me today? Put in different names to figure out, like, who is it that I need to talk to? Like maybe you're having an off day. Have you ever woken up and you're just, I'm having a meh day and this day just isn't, I want to get out of my funk. Would a conversation with this person get me out of the funk? Well, my father-in-law would not have been a person that I would have gotten a yes to, because he puts me in a funk, didn't take me out of a funk. Okay, right? So obviously I knew the answer beforehand, but sometimes, I'm giving you obvious answers, but you may have 3 or 4 people, and your higher self may be energetically connected to the first friend that you were thinking of calling, but they're having a meh day too. So your intuition's like, yeah, no, not that person. I should call this person. They're having a good day. Because you want to talk to somebody who's in the state that you want to be in, not call another person who's having a little bit of an off day. So are there any questions so far? No questions? Okay. So we're basically at the end of our time. I want to just give you a couple quick reminders. The first one is always clear your energy. Generally speaking, electronics could get in the way of of your pendulum too. So clear your energy, be grounded. If you're in a super emotional state, it might be not the best time to be asking your pendulum things. You want to get grounded, get clear, go take a walk, and then come back. Or I mean, like for me, it doesn't seem to, like if I'm having a bad day, it doesn't seem to affect my pendulum. But if it did, and you just feel like I'm not liking the answers, I'd go take a walk, go outside and ground, go be in the sun for just a few minutes, just enough to just change things up and come back. And then always calibrate when you're getting started. Ask what the yes looks like and the no looks like, and you could be using your pendulum or the body sway. Either one will work. And then practice the same thing. You can practice with the intensities. Like, should I be eating chicken? Well, maybe chicken and steak both come back as a yes. Well, is it a 1? Is it a 2? Is it a 3? And you'll see your pendulum swinging stronger when you get to the number that's right. And if steak is at 8, because my steak is really good, that's in the fridge right now, and my chicken is just boring blah frozen chicken, I may get a much stronger an 8 on the steak and a 6 or a 5 on the chicken. So if you're ever feeling like the results are unclear or inconsistent, take a break, ground, and come back. And then again, staying curious. Just when you're in a state of curiosity, you're very open to receiving information. So just the reminders, the muscle test, the finger locking, and the pendulum are the best ways to kind of tap in for the questions. And remember to give yourself grace as if it's a new tool for you, then be graceful with yourself if you're not getting the right answers. I'll tell you a quick story about my mom. My mom would be like, muscle testing, nothing worked. Pendulum didn't move. And she has done some of her work and she never gave up. And now she makes a lot of decisions with her pendulum. She even walked into a store. This was about 4 or 5 months ago. And I've spent 2 years trying to help her develop the skill. And we were there, like we're there now. She walked into a metaphysical store because she decided she wanted to do a little shopping. She was there for a pendulum, but I think wanted a book or something she was looking for first. So she walks past the desk and where the pendulums were sitting, and they all started moving. And my mom stopped and she looked at the lady. She goes, "What was that?" And the lady goes, "It was your energy." And I'm telling you, 2 years ago, she couldn't get her body to sway. She couldn't get her pendulum to move. And it's like a year and a half or 2 years later, just with consistent trying, she has a pendulum in her purse all the time too. So it is something that it seems like this group is pretty intuitive, and you have some gifts already that you're tapped into. So I'm not expecting people to take 2 years for it to happen, but I'm just giving you like the worst case scenario that it took my mom a while, and now she's got this like stuff's bouncing all over the place. So she's things have changed for her. And then I also wanted to share an opportunity with you guys. I'm super excited. I am launching a 4-week program. It's going to be in August for going deeper with all of this stuff. So you guys kind of learned all the how-tos. I have a lot more tools and ways to tap in with your pendulum and kind of activities to do, and learning to use ChatGPT to help tap into the question asking, because I'm super analytical and sometimes I'm like, I just can't get curious enough. And so I've developed a lot of different ways of doing that. And I'm offering a really awesome special through Sunday night. It's going to be for anybody who's on the call today or registered and missed it and is going to catch the replay. It's going to be through Sunday night. And the first thing that I'm starting with, so for those of you who don't know me well, I am a mindset coach and I do a lot of release work to help my clients get their results. And in the webinar, the first week of the webinar, what I'm going to be doing is taking people through releasing any kind of blocks around intuition, and we're going to do some ancient Hawaiian Huna work to release, and we're going to do some awesome release work. It's going to be amazing. But anybody who signs up before Sunday, I'm going to do a pre-call so that we can do some digging, so that when you guys come to that release, that you can release for more than just intuition, because the opportunity is there for much wider. So I'm going to do a pre-call for anybody who signs up before Sunday, that we can, so that way you're going to get like a 10x experience out of the Ho'oku'u process. And then week 2, we're going to dig more into understanding that intuition, and week 3, expanding your gifts. And the last week, we're going to actually be doing like how to amplify health and how to amplify focus and eyesight and all these different things using the pendulum, connecting with your higher self and your unconscious mind. So it's going to be a really awesome 4-week program, and the price that is going to be for the special is going to be $555. So whatever you guys see in the landing page and like the sales page, you guys will get. I have to figure out, I need to talk to my VA if I'm doing a code for you guys, like a special code to bring it down is what I think it's going to be. So just don't get scared from the price, because the price is $555 for everybody that's on the call today or watching before Sunday night. So I will have that out in the next 24 hours. If anybody knows that they want to sign up right away, I can get you a payment link. It just doesn't have all the, I'm finishing up the sales page right now. So that's super exciting. It's going to be a fun August. There will be replays. So if somebody needs to miss for whatever reason, they can still participate. And I'm available for questions. Like if you missed the replay and you missed the live and you have some questions, just message me. I'd be happy to, I'm here to help you guys tap into this and take it to the next level. So does anybody have any questions about pendulums or intuition or the program?
I just want to say you're so awesome. I love you lots, and I am appreciative for this intro. Pendulums are something I have had questions around essentially since I started, my transformation journey and did a little bit of energy work. I have to hop off for a work call, but I did want to, send you love and appreciation, and just thank you for today.
You're very welcome. I'm so glad you were able to join. Thank you so much, and have a great call. Ground yourself. And also, if anyone wants the grounding meditation, please let me know and I can get you a link to that.
Okay. Bye, everybody.
I have a good one. Any other questions or amazing comments? That was so spoke straight to my heart.
Yeah, no, Liz, this is great. It was a great intro, and I was going to ask if you had anything deeper courses. So that's great. Is it going to be like every week in August for an hour a session? Is that
an hour to 90 minutes? It's going to be the first time that I will have taught it. So I want to give myself the extra time in case somebody's like, I know on the last day, because I've taught the last day before in a big group, and there can be, this isn't working and we may need to clear some stuff, like when we're doing the amplification. But the amplification is really awesome, and the doing all the clearing beforehand so that you're tapped into your intuition is gonna really help everybody, because we have a lot of limiting beliefs around this stuff. It takes a long time to overcome the programming that we've had in society on really tapping into intuition. And so we're going to dig into that on the first call, and that release alone is going to take everything to the next level. So it's going to be really powerful. So I'm going to give myself 60 to 90 minutes for those, just in case, because I want to be able to help people if they're struggling with something, or even just keeping everyone else, like, I'm going to have you wait till the end of the call and we'll get back on and just get everybody else done. I'm aiming for 60 minutes, but I'm giving myself 90 because I want to make sure everybody is getting the attention that they need to get the results that they're looking for in it. But yeah, so that's going to be next month.
Perfect.
In August. Yeah. Yeah. Robert, any questions?
No, I think I discovered you through Seth Nowak, and so I don't even know what the call was really about. I just I think he had talked about the Huna.
Yes, and I walked him through Ho'oku'u, which is the release work that we'll be doing on the day 1, and that was the experience he had was very powerful. He had a massive release, and it really shifted a lot of stuff for him. So that's where this bonus call, instead of us just focusing on the intuition piece and doing that, what I like to do when I work with my clients is we talk about what's going on, what are some of the beliefs, so that we're really raising things up to the awareness, and we're talking to the unconscious mind so that it doesn't forget that we want to release this too. And so that pre-call that we're going to have before the bonus call that we're going to have before the first session, that is going to allow it to be for everything. Like we're going to widen the umbrella. It's not going to just be for the intuition. It's going to be for everything. And we'll take the time to do the question and asking. And also too, what I find is that we come together collectively for a reason. So when we talk through, oh yeah, my mom was like blah 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 growing up, and this intuition thing was like squelched, and 3 other people on the call like, oh my God, me too. So we can have a conversation about it, and then somebody else brings something up, and then we're collectively understanding where some of our blocks are that we might not even have a visibility to. And by bringing the awareness to it, then the release is that much stronger, because we're not just letting things happen naturally. We're being a little bit more active with it. So when we go into release work, like what I did with Seth, it was very intentional with what he was trying to lift, and we lifted it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be super powerful. I'm super excited for that. The Ho'oku'u stuff, I've been trained for almost a year now in the Huna world, and I just finished my training in May to be able to use new tools with clients, and they're beyond amazing. They're just incredible. Any other questions? Well, I will just tell you guys all to look for the link, and I hope that you'll join me, and I hope that you enjoyed yourself, Robert, today. And Seth, I think, had a conflict. I think he messaged me and said he had a conflict today, so he'll catch the replay.
Mm-hmm.
And if you need some help helping to source, if near you don't have any stores or anything that sell pendulums, let me know. I do have some extras, and I can help test to find out which is the best for you, and you can just pay me and I'll drop it in the mail.
Okay. Thank you.
Find something. Yeah, no problem. No problem. I have about 3 or 4 extras that I bought a bunch of them to, like I said, I tested them. And Jennifer, I'm super excited to hear that yours is moving really well for you, because I picked it for you.
Have been how to use it, in business, because I do, for the general things and stuff like that. But when it comes to especially the new real estate business, it's harder for me because I am emotionally attached to that.
We want to emotionally detach you, because you don't want to do real estate with emotions. You want to do it with numbers, and this just makes sense.
Yeah.
And gut feelings can help, but we don't want to be emotional. So that's something that we could lift in the week before.
Yep.
Like that's something that we could do the pre-work on, so that you release it on the first session. So you release that with the intuition stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Perfect.
That'll be the power of this.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Thanks so much, Liz.
Oh, you're so welcome. This was super fun for me. I just love this stuff. It just lights me up. So it's really fun to teach people how to do this stuff, and it's tapping into self. Like we are our own superhero, and we just leave our superhero cape hanging in the closet. So let's get that cape and wear it and get the going and be our own superheroes, because we have so much knowledge and power just within ourselves, and we don't always trust ourselves. So it takes a little bit of training, right? It's a new skill, and that's why, please, everybody, go practice. Take your pendulum or body sway to the store with you to pick out these pants or that pants, or this off the menu or that off the menu, and just start the little tiny. I know it sounds really silly and trivial, but it's what starts to build the relationship between you and your intuition, builds the trust, and I want you to build trust. And so the little silly things. And so Jennifer, even though you're not doing it yet in business, all of the other stuff that you're doing is laying the framework so that when you go to do it in business, you're going to be like, heck yes, this is a heck yes. I felt it. My pendulum felt it. My partner agrees. We're going. Like, you just get alignment. My husband and I are like, did you check the pen? Like we both have our pendulums, and we're like, did you check check the pendulum. And we're both like all excited because we both got a yes. A pendulum says yes. And we're like, yes, let's go. And it's just a whole new way of living life. It just shifts things, and it's fun. And it just becomes like you're stepping into your own power.
Mm-hmm.
And then eventually you don't need the pendulum as much, because you just start to listen to yourself. And the other thing too is pay attention to the little things. Pay attention to that. I went to grab this bottle of water and I didn't take it. Something told me not to. Maybe you thought there was something in the car already, and you left and you're stuck in traffic and you're like, damn, I should have grabbed my water bottle. And it's like, oh, yeah, because your conscious mind thinks it's in charge. It thinks that it is the captain of the ship, but the crew and the higher self, they're the ones that are really doing the heavy lifting. So if you have that, oh, I should grab this, I should, wear this shirt versus that, whatever it is, and you have a calling to do something, try and lean in. And if you find, oh yeah, I needed that bottle of water, I should have grabbed it, I should have put on those other shoes. That just starts with the awareness, because you've got to start paying attention to it. If you don't pay attention to it, which most of us have just not been paying attention to it. And so the more you pay attention, the more the skill develops. So you got to increase the awareness. So just start paying attention. All right.
Sounds good.
Anything else? Hopefully I will hear from you guys.